33 News, Marona Prophecy Productions. Okay, I'm not going to tarry too long. You guys remember this story about a month ago about a serial killer by the name of Gerald Brevard III. Okay, he was going around shooting and killing homeless people while they slept. This is a 30-year-old black man, Gerald Brevard III. So the reason why I'm speaking on this story today is because just a few days ago, I released a snippet about how to catch a demon. So go back and watch that video if you have not saw it. But basically, I was speaking on how to identify demons, people that have demons, okay? And if you noticed in my video, I had spoke about how you can identify these demons because they speak in third persons. Us, we, they. Okay? And so, listen. I don't know if I told you in the beginning, but I'm telling you now, I'm not going to tarry too long. Like I said the other day, I ran across this video. End of sentence. This is a YouTuber. Now listen what he had to say about this serial killer. He can explain it better than I can.
For this
Just
video,
listen.
we're going to be speaking on a potential serial killer that targeted the homeless and shot them while they were asleep. March 3rd, 2022, it was 4 a.m. when police officers in Washington, D.C. responded to the sound of gunfire, finding a man suffering multiple gunshot wounds in the 1100 block of New York Ave. 5 days later, at 1:21 a.m., another man was found shot on 8th Street and in stable condition. Both men luckily survived. Both shooting locations were only 5 minutes away from one another, but the two random acts of violence were deemed just that, random. 24 hours passed since the second shooting. It was March 9th, 2:54 a.m. A member of the Metropolitan Police Department was in the 400 block of New York Ave, an area heavily populated by the homeless, with shelters and service centers operating throughout the day, as camping tents lined the streets at night. While patrolling the area, the officer observed a tent on fire. Calling it in, DC Fire and EMS responded to the scene, extinguishing the blaze before making a gruesome discovery. A dead, burnt man was found inside of the makeshift home. What many would assume was a deadly misfortune.
So I don't know if this guy was actually, he must have been shooting and burning up people. So like I said, yeah, he was a lunatic for sure. But he was preoccupied with something other than himself.
Before being set on fire. This was the third early morning attack on a homeless man in 7 days. March 12th, 3 days since the homeless attacks in D.C., it was 4:30 in the morning. A 38-year-old homeless man sleeping on a cold street in Manhattan as a bullet was fired into his arm.
And I apologize for some of the noise in the background. Furthermore, I'm going to be skipping through this video because I just wanted you guys to hear the breakdown of the story, but at the same time, I want to get to particular parts.
Dead in a sleeping bag for the next 11 hours before being discovered. A 911 call went out, officers arrived, and it was determined he was shot to death in his sleep as bullets pierced his neck and skull. Speaking with the homeless in the immediate area, few told officers they heard gunshots around 6 a.m. When asked why they didn't initially report it, some stated they couldn't afford cell phones, while others knew minding your business was key to surviving the streets of New York. Similarities between all shootings resulted in law enforcement agencies from New York and Washington to align with the ATF in a joint investigation. A surveillance video from DC revealed an unmasked person of interest walking in the area of the first homeless shooting. A second video, this time from New York, would show a masked man looking around for potential witnesses before stepping on a homeless man, pushing him with his foot as his sleeping bag rocked. The man either remained asleep or pretended to be, assuming he was being bothered by police. That's when the masked man drew his weapon and started firing. The cold-blooded execution shook the city as word started to spread of a possible serial killer lurking the streets for potential victims.
And I want to let you know, demons can't read your mind either. So you see how the demon was trying them, but demons cannot read your mind. Okay?
The suspect's face. In both New York shootings, he eerily moved the same way, scouting his target, walking the block once to assure himself no one else was around, then committing the shooting with deadly intentions. Speaking with surviving victims, Washington police would receive tips, including a name. A senior law enforcement official would identify the suspect wanted for 2 murders and 3 attempts as 30-year-old Gerald Brevard III. Unknowingly being stalked, the tables were now turned as Gerald...
And look how well groomed he was. You see what I'm talking about now? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Look how well groomed this man was. So he was not crazy. Like I said, he was overtaken by something. Okay, let's go a little bit further.
Agents exited multiple vehicles with guns drawn as Gerald attempted to run, but quickly gave up. Wearing similar clothes to those seen in Manhattan surveillance videos, Gerald was searched, but no weapon was found. His criminal record dated back to 2013 with charges of theft, assault, burglary, drug possession, and traffic violations. In 2019, Gerald pled guilty to assault with a deadly weapon and was held and evaluated at a psychiatric hospital where he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and found competent to stand trial.
Okay, found competent.
In 2020, Gerald will be arrested in Virginia for burglary and abduction and later sentenced to 24 months on an amended charge of assault and battery.
And they kept on letting this fool out. You see how slick the demons are? Demons are smart. Okay? Demons are smart.
But lack of fingerprint evidence and her being unable to positively identify him led to his reduced charges. Gerald's father reached out to the news, speaking on behalf of his son.
I just have many different mixed emotions, sad, angry, disappointed, trying to process it. I'm sorry and feel bad for the victims, as well as my son.
He talked in the third person. He was very paranoid.
Now, rewinded it a bit. This is the part I want you guys to hear. Listen closely. Pay attention to what the father is saying.
The news, speaking on behalf of his son.
I just have many different mixed emotions, sad, angry, disappointed, trying to process it. I'm sorry and feel bad for the victims, as well as my son. He talked in the third person. He was very paranoid. He thought people were following him.
A motive is yet to be determined as to why Gerald...
All right, so it sounds like a case of schizophrenia that he had also, too. So schizophrenia is also in the spiritual realm. You know, that's demons. Did you hear what the father said? He spoke in a third person. What did I just say? We, us, they. Okay, third persons. All right.
Has the potential of becoming a federal death penalty case. Now, I can already somewhat predict that mental health is going to be major in this case because what would possess a man to just kill random sleeping people? I highly doubt he's going to get the death penalty. I can almost guarantee he's going to get life in prison. And you're gonna have the conspiracy theorists saying he was made to do this, paid to do this, whatever, whatever. You're gonna have the other people that are like, fuck him, fry him. There's no benefit to keeping him alive. I don't know. I'm kind of in between the two. Freedom to move around in society as if they're not. You know what I mean? It's like, you should have a caretaker, a caregiver, somebody that is in control of the majority of your life in the major decision making. And that way, you're constantly under surveillance to where something like this can't happen. But not only that, he was apparently on probation, wanted for violating probation, and somehow the state never picked up on how sick in the head he really was. Or he just wasn't that sick in the head, decided to do these things, and should face the maximum punishment.
And this concludes my video. I just wanted to give you a prime example, actually show you an example of a case of a person occupied, possessed with demons. So this is Marona Prophecy. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I know you guys like the content. Hit the thumbs up. Show me some love and subscribe. For I'm here to just enlighten your mind, elevate your mind, and teach you something that you did not know. I'm gone, but I'll be back.